guys and girls. So I just finished watching Mortal Kombat 2021 film, and what did I think about the new Mortal Kombat movie? Well, check me out in this movie review, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. Here we go. Shwa!
I am Sub-Zero.
Mortal Kombat. So Mortal Kombat 2021 is the reboot of the Mortal Kombat film franchise. And what did I think about it? When I first came into the movie, and I was kind of nervous. I was a little 50%, you know, in the moderation of the film, because I was like, I know I'm gonna expect some cheesiness. I don't expect no great drama or some Shakespearean, you know, stuff like that. I just came here to see some fatalities, some fights, and how well they did my certain characters, stuff like that. And coming out of this movie, I really enjoyed it, actually. It was a very fun B- kind of film. So let's talk about the characters first of all. First of all, I'm gonna start with the character called Cole. What did I think about the character Cole? I thought he was pretty cool. He was decent for me and stuff like that. And his acting was pretty good. The source material that he was handling with, and he's a new character, an addition for the film franchise and stuff like that. I thought they did him pretty decent. So in the movie is really kind of setting up for like future sequels, stuff like that. So if this movie does become a success, I really want to see the development of Cole's future if we don't go further with that. Overall, I thought the actor did a decent job of Cole. Cole was you know, he wasn't like the best, you know, for me, my opinion, like the best things, but he was pretty decent. They did Cole pretty well. His acting was pretty decent, stuff like that. Yeah, pretty cool, pretty well. His fighting and stuff like that was pretty dope. All the fight scenes in this Mortal Kombat movie was like outstanding and amazing, stuff like that. I'm sweating too for doing the intro. Next person I can talk about is Sonya Blade. Sonya and Jax. Sonya and Jax were done well. You know, each character had a little bit of moments of shine and stuff like that. I thought Sonya and Jax were done pretty well and stuff like that. I enjoyed a little bit of relationship. I want to see a little bit more from them and stuff like that. But this movie, as I'm telling you, it really felt like a Mortal Kombat prequel coming up into the tournament. And in a little spoiler alert, I'm not just going to spoil you for a whole part of the movie, but just a little spoiler for this one part if you knew or not. But here's the spoiler part. There is no tournament in this movie. Just want to let y'all know about that. Like I said, because this movie really felt like it was a prequel setting up for, which I heard is going to be 4 more Mortal Kombat sequels if this movie does become a success. So next one probably may be like a tournament based, stuff like that. But yeah, but anywho, I thought Sonya and Jax were done great. Liu Kang and Kung Lao, they were done great. All the actors were done great. My only decent person for me was Raiden. I thought the actor who played Raiden, that was the same actor who played in Thor. He played one of Thor's friends, the Warriors 3, the dude that got stabbed by Hela in Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, he was the dude that's playing Raiden. I thought Raiden was done pretty decent and stuff like that. Because I always expect Raiden to have that, you know, that Mortal Kombat video game voice, like, good, I am Raiden and stuff like that. His voice, to me, in this movie, it was kind of cheesy. It was cheesy, you know, stuff like that. His Raiden was for me. Now, for what the directors, the filmmakers did for these characters, they understand the characteristics of all these characters, which I give a lot of great points to and stuff like that. But for me, the character for Raiden, or the actor and stuff like that, for me, he was decent. He was, I think they could have chose a different actor, stuff like that. He was pretty decent. I wanted to see a little more, but in the outfit of Raiden was, I too felt like a little cheap for me too, but it was passable for me. But anywho, Raiden was decent to me. Who else? Like Liu Kang and Kung Lao. Kung Lao has some great action scenes as usual, and Liu Kang was done well to me, in my opinion, stuff like that. The source material that they gave me. The one that really shined out to me in this film was Kano. his character was perfect. The actor did him very well, and plus he's Australian too, and Kano in the game is Australian too, so that's a bonus for that. His line delivery was great and stuff like that. His sense of humor, his wittiness was great. His lines had me dying laughing in certain parts of the movie, stuff like that. And there were a couple times, you know, it's like that one friend that's telling you a joke, then they diving deeper into the joke. It's like, all right, guy, I need you to shut up now, stuff like that. That's how Kano was. But to me, he was the standout for me, in my opinion, throughout these characters in the film and stuff like that. Kano gets an A+ for me. The one who did Shang Tsung, I can't remember the actor's name, but he played in The Dark Knight as Lao. Pretty decent, pretty good job of Shang Tsung. But the Shang Tsung that I grew up with, the 1995 one, that Shang Tsung to me was more dynamic to me, in my opinion, and stuff like that. But like I said, if they're going to do a possible sequel, I want to see him break out his little acting chops and stuff like that. I thought he did a decent role as Shang Tsung. Melina and Cabal and the rest of the ones that you see in the trailers and stuff like that, or in the previews as you will call it, did a decent job. They had some. They only had like short scene and stuff like that, but yeah, they were done decent. Listen, it's Mortal Kombat, so you expect some little decencies and stuff like that, and a little bit of cheesy lines and stuff like that. You know, I don't expect it to be like the best like, you know, lore. All we come for is our little pay-per-view of blood and gore, fight, and do a little bit of decent character development, and that's it, stuff like that. Now, Scorpion and Sub-Zero, which I thought was brilliant. I have to admit that Scorpion is not in the film that much and stuff like that, you know, even though I want him to be a little bit much more in the film and stuff like that, but you'll see. But when they shine on the screen, they are brilliant. And Sub-Zero was like a T-800 Terminator, man. I mean, like, when he appears on the screen, like, he is, like, terrifying to me. And I love how they did Sub-Zero. And this Sub-Zero is the Bihan Sub-Zero. This is like the jerk Sub-Zero. They did Sub-Zero pretty well. And the intro of the movie, if you did see the 7-minute intro and stuff like that, the intro for the beginning of the movie was fantastic. Like, I really wanted the whole movie to be just like that, you know, and or if they could do a TV show or a spin-off just with Sub-Zero and Scorpion, that would be great, because the way had the movie set that up was pretty awesome. And if they could do a story lore for Kung Lao and Liu Kang, that would be great too, stuff like that. But the intro for Scorpion Sub-Zero, and if you Mortal Kombat hardcore fans know what I'm talking about, then yeah, it's well worth it. Now let's talk about the story. The story I thought overall is Mortal Kombat, like I said, is pretty decent. Don't go in there thinking, like I said, like some Shakespearean or dramaturg, you know, stuff like that. This is just to have a fun, sit back, chill, relax kind of story. You know, stuff like that. If you know the story of Mortal Kombat fans, you know, they got to fight in a tournament to save the Earth from Outworld and stuff like that, you know. And yeah, it's a pretty cheesy story and stuff like that, and it's just to have fun with it and stuff like that. The fight and the choreography I thought was brilliant and great. They did, you tell that these actors did a whole lot of practices and stuff like that. And yeah, it was great. The blood and the gore, like they said, it is really gut-wrenching cringe, like stuff like that. It's not like a cringe like how could I describe it? The nastiest blood gore that I saw, like in Punisher, Netflix Punisher, like that brutality and stuff like that. Yeah, but there are some like ooh, and there are some fan service fatalities that they do in the movie, and I was like, woo, that was good. I was like, oh yes, and I was like, ugh, that's pretty gross, stuff like that. But overall, it was pretty great, and this is the first Mortal Kombat on film, on screen, to be R-rated and do all these fatalities, blood and gore, and the language and stuff like that, you name it. What else did I enjoy about the movie? Yeah, the action scenes were all A pluses to me and stuff like that. The action scenes were great. The choreography was great and stuff like that. That's the positive sides of the movie that I enjoyed in the movie. And yeah. Now, the flaws for me in the movie, like I said before, was Raiden for me. The character of Raiden was great, but I think the actor could do a little bit better, or maybe kind of do a replacement and stuff like that, because that outfit for me for Raiden kind of wasn't working and stuff like that for me. It was decent. And what else was a flaw? There were some choppy editing in the film that, you know, it went from this part, it's like the second half of the film, like it cut from this part and then it went like, okay, now we're here, now fight, and there was some short change fights, like I said, oh, that was it, but it was satisfying. So like I said, for me the flaws was like copy editing, choppy in certain parts of certain scenes, stuff like that. And like I said, I thought Raiden could have done a little bit more better. I wanted to see a little bit more of Shang Tsung do a little bit, you know, in certain parts, but I think they're going to save more of that for the sequel and stuff like that. And what else? Yeah, and the movie soundtrack. The soundtrack was pretty dope. You know, the soundtrack that we were so used to, the classic 90s. They did a remix of it. This is like the future, I call it millennial kind of music, which I thought was decent. You know, they add like a little technical, you know, electric music to the beat. You know, I thought it was cool and stuff like that. But you can never defeat the classics. That's all I'm going to say. But overall, I really enjoyed the film for what it is. Is it a bad film? No. Is it a good film? And it's the best video game adaptation film? No. But it's a solid, decent film. I would love to see like a little group mingling, gathering, like friendship, like we saw in the 1995, like with Luke Kane, Johnny Cage, and Sonya, like that kind of friendship thing. That's what the 1995 had and stuff like that. And yeah, that's what I wanted to see more. But like I said, but there were certain things in the film that they did point out, like the lores in it. I was about to say it, but I can't say it. This is a non-spoiler, by the way. But when you see those kind of cameo things, stuff like that, it's like, oh, I see that. So if you're a hardcore Mortal Kombat fan, you will definitely enjoy this type of film and stuff like that. As me growing up with Mortal Kombat, stuff like that, like I said, I expect some cheesiness in the film because I enjoy the stories for all the Mortal Kombat games and stuff like that. So yeah, so I enjoyed it with the satisfaction that I was expecting in my brain and stuff. Yeah. What else did I think about? Yeah, overall, great movie experience. It's fun. Like I said, don't go in there thinking so hard like some Shakespearean thing. This is Mortal Kombat. You only come in here. What I got to say for this movie, before I go any further, it's way better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I'm just gonna throw that out there, okay? See, when I was a kid, I enjoyed, a 7-year-old kid, enjoyed Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Like, I rented from Blockbuster like 8 or 10 times. Even the Blockbuster people looked at me crazy, like, this kid is really renting this movie out and stuff like that. So as I grew as an adult, I saw the light, and yeah, it's a pretty bad movie. This movie overshadows that movie. So yeah, it's better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It could borrow some parts from the 1995 Mortal Kombat, but overall, as a movie, I enjoyed it. Is it the hype? Like, you should like, oh, it's the best movie? No, like I said, it's not the best movie, but it's a good time, have fun, blood, gore, storyline, video game kind of adaptation. It's Mortal Kombat, so you're just gonna have some fun, get your friends there, and just have a party with a bang. Yeah, but my overall review for Mortal Kombat, my overall score for this, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. I was arguing with a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. So you know what? Just giving them credit, I would give them like a 7 out of 10. All right, 7 out of 10 is what I'm giving this film. It's a good film, good, decent film. Could it be better? Oh yeah, a whole lot of better ways, stuff like that. But overall, it's setting up for a sequel, and the way how it ended is setting up. I really can't wait to see what they got for us, stuff like that. So me, as a hardcore, not a hardcore, but as a enjoying the Mortal Kombat game and the Mortal Kombat lores, and there are a lot of lores that they're explaining, that they explore in the films, which I want to dive deeper into, stuff like that. But yeah, but that's another topic for the spoiler sections of the film. But overall, like I said, I enjoy it. Go ahead and see it. You can watch it on HBO Max or in theaters, or if you watch this in the near future, if you got it at home, rent it, or yeah, or watch it. It's a really cool Mortal Kombat film, stuff like that. So that was my review for Mortal Kombat. So what are you guys and girls' thoughts about the new Mortal Kombat 2021? Did it live up to its expectations? Did it live up to your blood and gore thirst? Comment below and please let a brother know. And also, if you enjoyed my review, click like, subscribe, and share. More reviews will be posted each and every other week. So with that being said, this Denzel B Ren sign out. What a bang! Ha ha! Woo!